Now, innovation has been dubbed as a game changer, and ICT has been tipped to play a major role in the economic transformation of this country and Africa at large. And today, at IAB Africa was launched, simply a space that allows for innovation, for technology advancement, and for entrepreneurship. Now, a man who was behind it is a Samsung VP for East and Central Africa, Robert Ngeru. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Robert, what exactly is at IAB? Because we have a lot of things that are happening around.
That's interesting to start off from, but what you talk about IAB is actually bringing people together and giving them an opportunity to grow their skills and create applications, localized applications that can be able to drive acceptance and data utility, and as well as information in the societies that we live in.
Right.
So with that, we've worked together with Strathmore as a start, and we have an incubation hub where we support and teach and educate people who are inclined to technology and developing applications, and we host them and we guide them, give them the tools, give them the application development kits so that they can start creating a new angle into internet and the provision of data.
Robert, this space of app developers in Kenya has been rather stagnating, because we've seen a lot of effort, a lot of youngsters with brilliant ideas come on, but their apps don't translate to employment, they don't translate to wealth creation. They end up as a hobby. What are you putting in place to ensure that this gets to that next level where we're looking at employment creation?
Actually, at Samsung, what we've done together with Strathmore as well as Safaricom is we are encouraging people to develop apps that are relevant to the communities and societies that you live in. And that way then they can monetize it and turn it and make money out of it. So that actually creates wealth. And more, we're looking at some applications today. They've actually encouraged the youth. There's some very young people who have really gone at an advanced level. Actually, they don't need any more employment today. Out of this apps creation, they've created ventures and they can sustain and live on their own.
What's the relationship between the students and at IAB? Is it people join in and then you put your money and then there's an exit? How does it work?
But first we create a center where they can come and learn. If you're inclined into apps development and the internet, you come to the lab and learn how you can do it. Then once you do that, then you form a team or a team of yourselves and create an organization. So we host you at the IAB and create, it's like a boot. So where you can learn and be able to grow the business, be able to nurture talent, and be able to tap into different markets. We have a large subscriber base. Today, we are the leading smartphone vendor, so we can actually create applications that are used on our smartphones. So with that, you have a broad wealth of people you can be able to talk to with the relevant apps. So then after that, you can then move on and depend on your own, and you can be able to go out and challenge the world.
Robert, obviously mentorship is a key thing in this, but not just from the technical side of things. When it comes to funding these ideas and taking them off the ground, what's the link? Are you going to be linking them with VCs and people who would want to put their money in these ideas? How does it work?
Different ways we look at it. One, first and foremost, in terms of innovation, it has to be very innovative. It has not the same old things everybody is used to. So Samsung being the most innovating company in the world, we drive innovation and we encourage people to grow new innovations that can be able to change the way people do things. Then from then on, we support the so-called developers, and after that we fund them, and actually we would call a team. Last year we had a panel of people who have the potential of actually taking them up seriously as a business entity. So we have other partners, and we will involve the private sector to come in and participate so that they can encourage these guys who are actually developing the applications to continue boosting what they do. So with that, there's quite a bit of funding we put into it. And even the private sector comes in and participates. So it encourages the people who actually creating the applications.
Right. So it's somewhat of a one-stop shop for investors and people with ideas to come in and develop
Absolutely,
that.
yes,
Right.
yes.
Let's talk a bit about Samsung as we bring this to a landing. And of course, we'll be looking out at IAB
Sure.
in the next few months to see how exactly it does. Let's talk about Samsung, for example, right now. This, whatever you're doing right now, is happening in the African space.
Sure.
The last we heard about Samsung that came out strong was made for Africa. But we don't, and then we got caught up in the competition of who releases what,
Sure.
when.
Okay.
Is there space for African developers in all this fight to be the first to release the best, fastest, lightest gadget?
There is a lot of opportunity. I mean, I believe the sky is the limit, because the concept that we build based on Build for Africa was actually conceptualized right here.
Okay.
And it was out of research.
Right.
You know, globally we have a huge research and development team. So we expanded into Kenya. And that's why we are working with the likes of the universities and even private entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So that we don't make solutions that are based for other markets. We create solutions that are based for the local market.
Right.
So with that in mind, then we groom that and turn it into a product. If you look today, actually, we have the Kenya Law, which is an app that was created from the same IAB bootcamp. We have the poisons and medicine regulations, which you can be able to tell if the medicine is expired or fake. And then we're also driving something around counties and tax revenue collections
that are addressing problems in this market.
In this market, yes.
All right,
entirely.
Great. Robert, to my frustration, this conversation has to end. I understand we have to get back to Baringo, where there's that situation of breaking news, and there was a raid, but many thanks. Thank you for talking to you.
Sure.
We'll be keeping tabs to see exactly how at IAB Africa takes off in the next few months.